In a world that's rushing, we slow it down, finding light where shadows surround. Heart to heart, where the truth is told. We rise together, stories unfold. The gold is within. If you don't go within, you go without. Every voice, every heart, it's what we're about. Together we rise, hand in hand, soul to soul. Warm, safe, and loving, making each other.
See, I'm singing. I love our song. Welcome. We're the mother-daughter dynamic duo.
Yay. And I am Coach Rochelle.
And I'm Coach Alisha Schwartz. Wow. What a topic. You know, we're really into the masks.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about the know-it-all mask and really why we hide behind it. So there are tons of masks.
Oh God, there are so many that we all wear.
And we're going to go and expose a lot of them.
Yeah.
But Roche, the know-it-all mask. I know for me, when I discovered I was even wearing the know-it-all mask, is usually we hide behind that mask because really underneath it, we go into know-it-all, but underneath that is because we're insecure. Maybe we feel inadequate. Maybe we feel stupid, so that we don't want to show the world that. So we put on that mask to show everyone we really do know.
Yep.
But there is definitely a cost to the mask, which we'll get into.
Well, yeah, I would say there's a huge cost.
Yeah. And usually we develop these masks early on because, you know, let's say I had my learning challenge. So I didn't want people to know that I had a learning challenge and learning disability. So what did I do? I put on the know-it-all mask because I didn't want you to know that I wasn't really adequate, or I felt stupid, or I felt insecure. So I went around thinking and showing everyone I know I could give you the answer to everything. But there is definitely a cost to that. So what about you, Roche?
What's interesting about it, it can work another way where I also felt inadequate and stupid. And so what I would do if I were with people, even one person or a group of people, it really didn't matter. And they were discussing things and I had no idea what they were talking about, but I didn't have the courage to say, oh, you know, can you explain it to me? Because I really am not clear. Because I felt if I did that, they would look at me like she's really stupid. So I would shut down, zip it up, and not say anything except just nod my head. Yeah. But if they said something to me, I was so ashamed, I would say, oh, I get it.
So basically you pretended that you got the information because you didn't want people to know you're inadequate. You really don't know.
I don't know. Absolutely. But the other good thing is because of that mask, I learned a lot about people because I just didn't talk, but energetically, I knew what these people were thinking. I became so good at the energy that other people were sharing, whether they felt they knew it all or they felt smarter. I knew how they were feeling. And it taught me a lot to be in the listening of other people. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So that's really one of the things that I would hide behind.
And we usually put on the mask because we're really trying to pretend to be someone we're really not.
100%.
Because if we were really open and honest with ourselves, and we wouldn't have to put on these masks, we could just fully be authentic. But because these are our little wounds from our past, and they're little things that we adopted when we were young, you know, maybe you were told you're not good enough, you don't matter, you're unlovable, whatever that is. We developed the mask out of that little girl because we don't want to really show you who we are because it wasn't accepted, so to speak.
Right, exactly.
Right? So
exactly.
That's where the mask really starts to develop. right? And then we know we're in a mask because we're righteous about it. We're
Oh,
so
yeah.
righteous that we know, and nobody else can
Yes.
tell us anything
Yep.
different,
Yep.
right?
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Because we show up like, oh, I know, you stop yourself from really listening and learning what you really need to know. Do you know that?
Yeah, and I think once you really start to do any kind of inner work, and that's really what we're trained and certified in. And also, one of the things we wanted to say is when you
Yes.
listen to this video, which we know you all will, make sure you put in the comment below, what you can identify in this. How do you relate to the mask? Can you see it in your own life? We want to hear from you. We really do.
Yeah.
So comment in there.
It's
we answer
important,
to everybody.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that know-it-all really stops you from growing and learning. It's like,
Yeah, it
you know,
keeps
it's
you in a
like,
box.
I don't want to know because I already know. But what if you really didn't know?
I think it keeps you very limited.
It absolutely does.
I think that, once you really see, wow, why am I pretending to be someone I'm really not? Because
Mhm.
usually it's that insecurity. And once you start to heal that insecurity or whatever wound you're carrying,
Mhm.
then you really can be authentic. You don't have to put on the mask. You really don't, because you can say, you know what, I really don't know the answer to that. Let me find out. Let me get back to you. You won't have to
That's
hide and
so
deny
powerful.
it
Yes.
and just say, well, this is what I think you should do, or this is what I think it is. And also the cost of wearing that mask. I remember back in the day when I started to discover that I was wearing this mask, I was with someone and this person was not well. She was sick. And I remember she had medication and I was wearing the know-it-all mask. And I remember that, okay, I don't know how much medication I should give her. It says this, but I'm not quite sure. Now, the good news is this was at high stakes. So this person was very important to me, someone's life. So I had to say, and I was very nervous. I remember scared to death because I didn't want her to know I didn't know. But I had to say, look, I really don't know the information. Let me find out. But that took everything out of me but what stopped me it could be a life or death, right? So if you can't be with it, it won't let you be. So you have to put on the mask. So what I'm saying is there's a cost.
A big cost.
And it could be life or death.
Yeah.
Right? That's extreme. But the other extreme, right? And not extreme, the other cost, what are some other costs to wearing the mask of the know-it-all?
Well, to me, it was always being stupid. That was a huge one for me, is being,
What's the cost
know-it-all.
of wearing that mask? The know-it-all. Can you think of something that you think that would just pops up?
No.
No.
I can't think of anything that would pop up of the know-it-all.
What's the cost of
I
wearing it?
know. Well, you stop yourself. You absolutely stop yourself from your own learning. I mean, really, and growing. Absolutely.
And how about expanding your knowledge?
Right.
Right? Because if you know everything, you're not open to all possibilities. You're open to a very small window.
Very narrow. Yeah, it is true. The know-it-all. Oh, God. You know how many people walk around, I'm smarter than you. I know better than you. Well, guess what? What if you took that mask off and you were really true to yourself and said, you know what? I don't know all the answers. I don't know anybody that knows all the answers anyhow.
No. I mean, we're here to learn and grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
But remember, when you're wearing these masks, whether it's the know-it-all or, a good girl, or there's what's the other one? The charmer.
Oh, yeah. There are a few of them out there.
There are a lot of masks. But when you wear the mask, it really keeps you from all possibility.
And it keeps you
you're
small.
Locked in.
Yeah, it keeps you really small. And you are locked in. You imprison yourself because you think you know it all. Yeah. And you don't. Nobody has all the answers. There's just not.
And these masks, like I said, they happen when you're young, right?
Yes.
They really do. You could have been 8 or 9 and you were so embarrassed because someone said to you, you're not enough or you're stupid. And so instead of saying, well, sometimes I can be stupid.
Right.
Sometimes I make stupid
Speaking
choices.
right into it.
You think it's not okay.
Right.
And then what happens? You wrap yourself up to try to be someone you're not, just to make others like you. Remember,
Yeah.
it goes back to being liked, and it goes back to being accepted and loved.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, what if we are taught, right, to allow ourselves to be all of who we are? So if you feel for a moment you made a stupid choice,
Mm-hmm.
all right, how many of us have made stupid choices?
But
Okay,
those were the lessons as well.
of course. So
You know,
there's not
those were
really
the lessons. So it's not
stupid
wrong and
No.
it's not bad. It really isn't. As long as you get the lesson, that would be great.
And
really.
also, the know-it-all wants to make others feel small too, right?
Right.
So if I'm always the know-it-all, I'm
Right.
trying to prove that I know more than you to make you feel
Exactly.
small and make me feel powerful.
Right.
That's the other piece.
Yeah,
to it.
that is a big piece too.
Because our insecurity is really what keeps that mask in place.
It's true. You know, that's a very good point, because there are people that I know,
Mhm.
and because of all the work that I've done, so I think I know more than them.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at all I mean, since I'm 30 years old, it's years and years and years. So you can't tell me this is the know-it-all. You can't tell me anything because I already know it, because I've done all my work. Well, guess what? That stops me from learning about other things.
And learning what other people know.
Without a doubt. Without
Besides
a
you.
doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a limited box.
Yeah, very much so.
And you know, when you're in it, you're so arrogant. You puff yourself up.
It is an arrogance.
It's all just.
It is.
It's all just. What's the word? Oh, it's like putting on something that you think is going to make you feel better. For
Yeah.
a moment, it might.
Right.
You know?
Right. But it doesn't. It really, truly, you stop yourself so much.
And the other thing is to keep that mask going. You have to keep up all of that, and it causes so much stress, pressure to keep that mask going.
And
you notice that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's exhausting to keep the mask going.
And you also turn other people off, because if I puff myself up and I know more than you, all of a sudden, energetically, they get that. They're like, really? Well,
Yeah.
maybe you could learn something from me.
Yeah.
But I stopped that.
It's a turnoff.
And it is a turn off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I remember trying to keep that know-it-all in place. It's like, it's like you're juggling all these balls, and you have to really keep those balls in place so that nobody finds out that's not really who you are.
Right. Exactly.
It hides your real vulnerability.
Yeah.
It really does, because you don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to be weak.
Yep.
So let me just show you I know more than you.
Right. And when you set that up with anybody, it's really hard to keep that going. It really is. And so many times you perhaps would want to share something that doesn't make you look so smart, but you really want to share something with that person, but you puffed yourself up so that you can't be vulnerable with that person. So it's like a turn off to them and a turn off to you, because there's nothing there. So it's really an incredible mask. I really have to say that.
I know. And, again, I just think that the freedom you get when you could just be yourself, love yourself enough, hold yourself with such
Pride.
honor, confidence, pride, to just know that it's okay to just be you.
And what's
You're
so
so
terrible?
free. You're so free.
Yeah.
Well, we hide it because
I know.
you know how it goes.
I know.
It feeds the fear of, maybe being a failure, right? So if I can't be with the failure in me and the fear, again, I have to go and put another mask on, because I can't be with the fear or the failure maybe that I'm feeling deep within myself. That's why we put on these masks,
Right.
whatever they are.
Right. That is true.
It's
And
fear.
it
It's
is
the fear
fear.
of failure. It's the fear of not feeling good enough, right?
And if you puff yourself up and you really want to be vulnerable, it's really tough. It's really hard, because then you are breaking down your vulnerability when you've puffed yourself up to that point, and now you have to be more vulnerable and say, you know, I really would like to learn that. I don't know,
Yeah.
you know,
And I think,
and speaking into it.
yeah, and I think all of this comes out of that need
Mhm.
to try to control because we're so afraid. If we just let go of who we are, of those parts that we think are going to help us,
Mhm.
like the mask that we're wearing, then what's going to happen? We're going to be exposed. So we have to keep that control in place. So this is a great conversation,
is.
and we're going to keep it rolling. But before we give you some wisdom and nuggets,
Oh God,
and
we
some
can't
actions,
wait.
we're going to go to our sponsor break. We'll be right back. We are
Hello.
back.
Wow, what a topic. What do you think?
The know-it-all masks.
Oh my God.
Why we hide behind it.
Oh yeah. Please let us know too.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of said
Really?
one of why we do hide behind it, right? We hide behind it because we don't want to expose the truth to ourselves and others. That's usually why, and it's our insecurity, right? So I think, the golden nuggets and maybe some action you can take is to start journaling, just journaling your feelings. Start out your morning or before you go to sleep, do the dump, the brain dump.
A brain dump.
Just write all of your feelings. Wow, I woke up today and I'm feeling so scared and insecure. I don't know why. God help me, spirit, whatever
Right.
you believe in.
Or you're overwhelmed and you really don't know why you're being overwhelmed and there's so many things going on. It's so important to journal your feelings and nobody has to see it but you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the first
The basic
thing
they're
you
always
can
basic
do,
things. I
because
agree.
we don't know we're wearing a mask. We're unconscious. We're not conscious of this. The only time you really become conscious is when you start to work on yourself, right? You start to discover, why am I feeling insecure? Why do I feel like I always have to say yes when I really want to say no? So I put on the people pleaser mask, right? That's another one. So, people pleaser mask is a whole nother, we're going to do a whole one on that one.
But once you know that once you listen to this, especially, and you get to see what we're saying and sharing with you, and it resonates, it's like, okay, now I know, well, I do have that know-it-all. It does stop me from moving forward and having certain things in my life. Why not be in that place of stillness? Go out in nature, walk on the grass, walk on the sand if you have that availability, and really ask yourself, what is that mask trying to teach me? What is it trying to show me, this know-it-all? And just listen quietly, and you will definitely start to see that know-it-all mask and where it stopped you from moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you start to expose the mask, and when I say expose it, I mean finally come to terms that you could just be you. And that if you're feeling scared or you're feeling insecure, you could just talk to that part of yourself, right? Just say,
Yes.
oh, hi, insecure Ina. What is it you need from me? Oh, I need you to give me a hug. I need you to tell me I'm enough. I
Correct.
need you to, do that.
Yeah.
Seek first to understand, and then to be just understood. You gotta seek that within
Correct.
yourself
Correct.
before you could be understood by
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
really all about going
Yeah.
inside.
Totally going inside and starting to look at how this mask has definitely stopped you, but it's also going to show you the things where you can move forward now. Once you get to see where it has stopped you from your own growth. It is such a powerful, powerful mask.
And people really connect with your honesty and your authenticity rather than your expertise in whatever you do in the world.
Right.
I think that's always been the thing for us, especially with what we do. I mean, people resonate because we provide the safe space for people.
We are so real. We will let you know, wow, we'll either get back to you. We don't know, but we're going to find out what it is.
Yeah, and usually the strongest person in the room is
the
not the one who knows it all.
The one who doesn't.
It's the one who's secure enough to keep learning.
Yeah.
Right? And growing. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. If someone comes up to you and wants you to do something and right away, oh, sure, I'll do it. But then you realize, I don't want to do it. I just did that so I would be liked by them. No. Things come up and you don't know, I'll get back to you.
Yeah. But again, I think to expose it is to be honest with yourself.
Absolutely.
Why am I so tired all the time? Why can't I, stop the cycle of always creating those people, that are in my life, right? That are really perfect in alignment with your mask, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Your value comes from who you are, not from what you know.
And people will really respect you more. Because a lot of times when you say something like, I don't really know, but I'll get back to you, it almost relieves them as well. Like, wow, that's really interesting. She's just being really true. She doesn't have the answers. A lot of people put you on a pedestal.
Well, and I think too that once you release the fact that you don't know, there's so much freedom.
Yes.
And a relaxation of the nervous system.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Because your nervous system is like on high alert because you're trying to keep it going. You're trying to keep that mask going and going. And it takes a lot of energy to keep that in place.
It certainly does, for sure. So it's a great mask to start unconcealing what's underneath that. Who is that underneath all that? You'll find an incredible gift for yourself.
Yeah.
You really will.
Yeah. And again, I remember I developed that mask, that know-it-all, when I was probably, first grade was when I was diagnosed with a learning disability. So first grade, I would say, I don't know, when I got older, I learned that, if I know it all, then they're not going to find out who I really am, right?
Yep. And it's really important to really learn who you really are under that mask. And it's beautiful.
It really is.
It's so beautiful. And guess what? It is authentic. It's freeing. And you bring out so much more light and love as to who you are standing in front of people, because they get attracted to that. They get attracted to your honesty, because a lot of people are not honest about a lot of things. But when you come out and you're showing that this is me, people respect that.
Yeah,
they really do.
And I think maybe the challenge for the week, this is the challenge for the week. So I want you to replace the statement, I already know that, with what else can I learn? Right? It's a good one. So we challenge you this week. We challenge you to take this on. Replace the statement, I already know that, with what else can I learn?
And let us know, please.
Yeah, see what opens up for you. See all the new people that might be showing up in your life, or the things that you didn't know, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I took that off, so now I can learn.
Yeah. Mother-daughter really showed me something I need to see.
Yes. And that's really what we're here to do, is to really
100%.
support everybody to see something different for themselves, to open up. And we're always here to help you do that. You can, always DM us and find us on social media.
Yeah.
And we do discovery calls, which is fabulous.
Oh, yes. And get us on YouTube. We can be there for you as well.
And here's another golden nugget. The day you think you've arrived is the day you stop advancing.
You stop learning.
You stop learning.
You stop growing.
You stop growing. You
Yeah.
stop evolving.
Yes.
So, we're going to send you lots of love.
Shine your lights.
Leave in the comments when you watch the video how you relate to the mask, where you see that happening in your life. And if you need any other support,
We're here for you.
we would love to do a discovery.
Always.
So with that said,
All
Roche,
right.
it's a
Let's
wrap.
go.
We are sending you love.
Mwah.
In a world that's rushing, we slow it down, finding light where shadows surround. Heart to heart, where the truth is told.